In the Kuta Sichas Chelik Tes, the first Sicha to Parshas Hazinu, starting from page 204, is taken from the Farbringen of Shabbos Tshuva Tovshin Chav Zayin and Tovshin Chav Ches and Vov Tisha Tovshin Chav Ches. And the Nakuda of the Sicha is about what it says in Kisva Ariza'l, that Kol Mi She'ein Beicha B'Aseres Mitzhuva Ein Nishmos Shlema. Anybody who doesn't cry in Aseres Mitzhuva shows that his neshama is not complete. And the Rebbe asks a kasha from the Loshen Kol Mi She'ein Beicha. Anybody who doesn't cry Aseres Mitzhuva shows his neshama is not complete. Refers to everybody, including a Tzadik Gomer. And the question is, why would we expect a Tzadik Gomer to cry so much that if he doesn't, shows that his neshama is not complete? Maybe somebody does Averis, you have to do tshuva, and you cry. And then if it comes a Seres Tshuva and he doesn't cry and he doesn't care, it doesn't bother him, shows something wrong. But the Tzadik Gomer, why would we have to cry? And the Rebbe goes through a whole shaklavatari, and finally the Rebbe says that we know that it says in Chassidus that the Iker of Tshuva is not only on Averis, but it is, as it says in Posik, the Ruach, which means the Neshama should return to Hashem the way it was given. That means that the Neshama L'mayla, before it comes down here to this world, the body, is no Metzias. It's completely bottled to Hashem. It doesn't feel its Metzias at all. When it comes down here, it becomes a Metzias. Down here, it's impossible to be bottled completely at Metzias. Even like it says in Tanya, even the Tzadik Gomer that serves Hashem, but Ava B'Tainugim, the highest level of Avedas Hashem, is still a Yesh, is still a being. Yesh Mishaev. There is a person who loves Hashem. So we still say that there is a person who loves Hashem. That means that there is a Metzias of a person. And can't reach the level the way the Neshama was bottled to Hashem before. And that's why a Tzadik Gomer would cry. A Tzadik Gomer cries why he cannot reach the level of bittul to Hashem as the neshama was before it came down. Because he can't reach there, and therefore he cries. But then the Rebbe asks, since he can't reach it, it's impossible to reach it, and it's not his fault, so why would he cry? Why would it bother him? Why would he cry over it when he knows it can't help it anyway? So the Rebbe answered that be'emes, since neshama is there, etzem mahus is a lakus, it's only a lakus as it becomes a nivra, but it's really be'emes a lakus. So a neshama has the ability, has the power to go out of the gather of the creatures and to reach the level of bittul b'metzias as the neshama was before it came down to this world. And how does the neshama reach it? By being farbittert, he said, by being bitter, by feeling bad and crying. Why he's not in that level, that's a form that he really could unclothe himself of any mitzias, and Itake becomes completely bottled to Hashem. So b'meila, when it says kol yishein bech, anybody who doesn't cry shows that something wrong. That goes on Tzadik Gomer also, because the Tzadik Gomer would also cry. And he would cry for this reason, that he's still missing his bittul. Because sof kol sof, he could reach that madrege. It's possible to reach that madrege through the real feeling bad about why he doesn't have that madrege. Now, I want to say that when we were standing by the Farbringen and the Rebbe was talking the Sinyan, he was crying, he was choking up. And the feeling we got, and actually we discussed it after the Farbringen between ourselves, that the feeling we got that the Rebbe was expressing his feelings. It wasn't just talking a inyan that it says in Kisva Ariza'l. He lived it. You could see when he was talking about the feeling of missing the bittul to Hashem and b'meila you were able to reach it, he was expressing where he feels and expressing his feelings, his matzev. And he was living it rather than just talking about it. You could feel it that way. Now, what went through the Rebbe's mind, no one knows, but the feeling you got, the way he spoke about it as such, he got choked up and he was crying. You could see he was feeling this inyan that he was talking about. And this made such a great impression on everybody listening to the Rebbe speaking these inyanim and B'shas Ma'aseh crying, where he gives the feeling that he is Poshet expressing his feeling, what he lives.